Hey guys, welcome to this two-purpose video. This is going to be about Netflix, just some stuff I saw recently on Netflix, and talk about what I'm currently watching on there. And I also have Hulu, and I watch stuff on there too. Also talk about sort of a haul update, my latest haul of stuff that I've managed to get despite the fact that I have been unemployed for a while, which, by the way, hopefully is changing this week. I do have a job now that I got through a temp agency, so it might only be for 4 months, but I'm hoping I start this week. I haven't gotten my official start date yet, waiting on the drug testing and all that stuff, so not that that should be any kind of a problem. I'm just waiting for the call to say you start tomorrow, you start whenever. So yeah, so that'll be good. Some kind of data entry gig while I continue to work on my art and comics and stuff like that, and focus more on that this year than I have been, because I kind of slacked off a little bit. So yeah, there's that. So I'm going to talk about Netflix, and I'm going to show off a few things that I picked up recently, or that were sent to me, and this and that. And I'm also going to post a video about a screening that I went to earlier today at the Alamo Drafthouse. So just talking about it and stuff. Okay, so let me start with Netflix. 2 movies that I saw on Netflix. Sort of a quickie reviews. I saw 2 movies on Netflix, and one of them was a Kevin Smith movie. Yoga Hosers? Yoga Hosers, is that right? Yeah, Yoga Hosers. Okay. I love Kevin Smith. I watch his YouTube, show with a Fat Man on Batman. And, I grew up when I was, I guess, in high school is when his movies were starting to come out and were really popular and all that. And, yeah, I really liked them. I mean, they're kind of dated, some of them. My favorite one is actually Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which might be the least popular of the bunch. I'm not really sure. But yeah, Clerks and Mallrats and all that stuff, Chasing Amy, all that stuff. I don't know if I've seen all of his movies from that time. I'm not sure I've seen Dogma. I've seen parts of it. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. Chasing Amy, I'm not sure if I've seen the whole thing. But definitely Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Mallrats, love those. I mean, there's some things I don't love about them, but there's, they're still fun. But yeah, so, I like the guy. I like his work a lot of the time. And he's been doing these movies set in Canada now. I think it's like a trilogy that he's been trying to do. I don't know how connected they are. I think it's sort of like a Canadian version of what he was doing before, where it's sort of all in the same universe. You have characters appearing in the various movies that come back in the, and this one, Yoga Hosers, is it stars his daughter, who I believe is named Harley Quinn Smith, I guess, and I believe the other girl in it is Johnny Depp's daughter. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't remember her name. And in this movie there are a couple of store clerks, just like Clerks, but this is like a Canadian convenience store. It's like a Canadian version of Clerks, I guess. I don't know, but it's a lot more weird and a lot more teen focused. This is going to be a really short review, guys. I tried to watch this movie a couple of nights ago, and it was really bad. Now, I think a lot of people have been saying this. I don't know. I haven't really watched many reviews on this, but I didn't get the humor. A lot of it seemed like it was trying to be, it's like Kevin Smith trying to write for teenagers. I think I've heard people say that before, and that's how it felt when I was watching it. It didn't really feel genuine as far as the dialogue. It was just weird. Maybe it's because I'm not in contact with any teenagers and I don't know how they talk right now. I don't know, but it was weird. Maybe it was a Canadian thing. I don't know. Half the dialogue I just wasn't getting. I wasn't getting the jokes. I mean, there are moments when you're like, that's okay. But, and then Johnny Depp comes in it, and he's playing this really weird character with a bunch of makeup and everything. And he reminded me a lot of, the actor's name is slipping my mind, but from SCTV, who, he played the dad in the American Pie movies. I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but he reminded me of that guy. The accent he was doing and everything. I've seen that guy do similar accent and stuff before. Gosh, I can't remember his name. But yeah, so Johnny Depp was playing this kind of weird character, and I found him entertaining. But yeah, it was this weird plot about these little tiny sausage people that were Nazis, and they were attacking and murdering people in this town, and somehow they came across these girls, and then these girls end up like the murders being pinned on them just because some of these murders happened in their convenience store while they were there, and it's just bad. There's not a lot to say. It's just a mess. It's all awful. I love Kevin Smith. I love watching Fat Man on Batman every chance I get. I love you guys' movie reviews. They're not watching, but you know. But this movie, it opens with like these two girls, I guess, have their little band. It's just them and some like guy who plays the drums, if I remember correctly, and they're they're rehearsing, and they're like doing this thing where they sing their song and they like talk to each other, and I just didn't get it, man. I just didn't get the joke. I didn't know if it was a joke. I didn't know they were fighting or if it's a song that involves talking. I didn't understand any of this movie. Maybe maybe I just didn't understand it. Maybe a lot of people do understand this movie. And then they would keep doing the thing throughout the movie where they pause it to give a description of any new character that's introduced, which I don't mind that in a movie at the very beginning, but it just kept happening throughout the movie, and it just felt like a thing that was supposed to make it modern and like hip, and like, I don't know, I felt like I was watching it's like, it reminded me of a really bad version of Scott Pilgrim, which, and like for like more of a modern, like much younger audience, but at the same time I really like Scott Pilgrim for the most part. So I'm not like really saying it's not like Scott Pilgrim. It's just, I don't know, just the quirky aspect of it. It's just I didn't get any of it. I didn't get the jokes. And then stuff that I think I kind of understood it, but it wasn't funny. So yeah, Yoga Hosers. I fell asleep. I watched most of it, and then I just fell asleep. It wasn't good. But you know, maybe I'm not the target audience. So I don't know what to say. I can't recommend it. So moving on to the other movie that I watched. Before I get to that, what else have I been watching on Netflix? I finally started watching The Flash, the series. I used to watch the old show in the 90s. I have it on DVD, although I haven't watched it, so I haven't refreshed myself with that. But it's pretty cool that the new show has the old Flash playing the father, but of New Flash. But yeah, I'm enjoying The Flash. It has its cheesy qualities, you know, as far as like some of the writing. There are times when you're watching it where they have like, you know, there's a lot of kids watching this show, so let's write some wholesome dialogue in there and some wholesome values, and like things like a lesson of the day kind of worded in there, whether it's from narration at the beginning and end, or from certain characters. Like there's this girl that Flash is totally in love with in the early episodes. He grew up with her, and sometimes she has lines that I'm just thinking, I get where they're trying to like have a, you know, a meaningful lesson of the day kind of thing, but sometimes those lines just aren't believable because people don't talk that way. But it's a minor quibble. It's the kind of thing you get on all these shows that are, it's like they still put like sexual stuff, like at least in the dialogue in shows like this, and yet they still kind of like try to make them something that's semi aimed at kids. It's kind of funny, but but it's a good show. I like Flash. I like Arrow. I saw the episode where Arrow came on. There were a few spoilers because I wasn't at that point on Arrow. I'm trying to catch up with the DC shows. I mostly am kept up to date with the Marvel shows, except I have Hulu and I have Netflix and YouTube. None of them have ever had Agent Carter season 2. Hulu had it, but they would like delete the episodes almost as fast as they put them on. So I missed the first one, so I never watched them, and it was just like on briefly. I don't know why nobody had Agent Carter, like really had it on there. Like right now, I can't find Agent Carter anywhere on Netflix or Hulu, but you can find the other Marvel shows. Of course, most of them are on Netflix, and then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I keep up with that on Hulu. But so yeah, except for season 2 of Agent Carter, I'm up to date with the Marvel shows. But I'm like, I think I'm somewhere in season 3 of Arrow, maybe, or season 2. I think it's season 3, and I'm still in the first season of Flash, but I think I'm almost done with the first season. I don't know how many episodes there are, but I'm pretty far into it already. And they have Supergirl on Netflix now, but I haven't started it, and that's what I'm really excited to watch, but haven't yet. You know what? I can talk about another movie. I just thought of another one I watched before I get to the other one. Hulk. It's Marvel's Hulk, Where Monsters Dwell. I've got it back here. Okay. Marvel's Hulk, Where Monsters Dwell. It's an animated feature. I don't know if this was like a direct-to-video DVD, and it's funny, it's set on Halloween. This is a funny thing, like right now, Netflix has added a bunch of stuff that's like takes place on Halloween, or the other movie I'm going to talk about is called Tales of Halloween. This stuff was not on, on Halloween. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was new, and they were just selling it and renting it, but I'd never heard of this Hulk one before it popped up here on Netflix. I don't know when it popped up, but I barely discovered it. And yeah, when Halloween was here, there wasn't that much on there. Yeah, the Hulk, Where Monsters Dwell. It's set on Halloween, and actually it was pretty interesting. I was kind of distracted when I was watching it because I was down at my mom's. I took her home from her holiday visit. And it's an animated movie. It's basically Hulk and Doctor Strange, and a group of monsters that are Doctor Strange's friends. There's a girl who's a vampire. There's a guy who's a werewolf. And, I forget what else. I'm not really familiar with most of these characters. And then there's a guy who's a zombie who's actually one of the agents. They actually have had him on the MCU in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he was kind of different in that. He was like a Hydra agent, but in this cartoon, he was a zombie S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and he was a good guy. It's typical Marvel animated adventure. Got to defeat these monsters, and the villain was Nightmare, and it was good. It was pretty good. As best as I can pay attention to it. If you're looking for, it wasn't super Halloweenish. I mean, there's some kids that are part of the story, and they're like trick or treating, and they get mixed up in this big mess. But it had cool characters. I liked these these monster friends that he had. It was interesting. I liked it. I mean, it didn't blow me away or anything, but it was pretty cool. It's been a while since I've watched any of the Marvel animated stuff, and I'd like to watch more. I just haven't had time. I mentioned in a previous video that I finally got to watch Luke Cage, and that was incredible. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, A Series of Unfortunate Events. That's a new show. If you remember the movie with Jim Carrey, they now have a TV show, or a Netflix show about that just came on, and it stars Neil Patrick Harris in the Jim Carrey role. And I don't know, any of the other cast. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm really interested in watching this. I hear it's really good. The little girl, or the teenage girl, or whatever she is, like 12 or 13 or 14, I don't know. But just from the trailer I saw, that girl looks like a lot like the one from the movie version. The first time I saw the trailer, I thought it was, the movie trailer for the old movie or something, but she looks a lot like her. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one when I get a chance. There's also supposed to be a Worst Witch series coming to Netflix, made for Netflix. I'm excited about that. They had one on HBO, and that was like way back in like the 90s. I never got to see that. But and I don't know if it was made for HBO or if it was an import show. But if you don't know Worst Witch, it's a lot like Harry Potter, but it's about a girl. I think the whole school is all girls, and it was predates Harry Potter by quite a bit. And way back in the 80s, when I was little, they had a TV movie that is a great. You have to watch it on Halloween. It's one of the best. Like, I watch that at least once a year on Halloween, but I'll watch it whenever. And it stars Fairuza Balk back in her Return to Oz days, and Tim Curry. Tim Curry is one of the main characters in it too. If you don't get enough Halloween Tim Curry with Rocky Horror, you need to watch the original Worst Witch, which was a TV movie. It's on DVD. Try to get a hold of that. It's really cool. They should have that on Netflix. They might. No, I don't think they've ever had that on any of this stuff. But yeah, I think it's on YouTube, I think. Worst Witch, very cool. The original. So I'm excited because they're going to have a show, where they're supposed to have a Netflix Worst Witch show soon. And I have Netflix on back here right now. But yeah, I use Hulu to keep up with Once Upon a Time, and I use Netflix to catch up as best I can with Bates Motel and Walking Dead and Big Bang Theory. We have to rent them one episode at a time. So I haven't seen any of this year's Walking Dead. I haven't seen any of that Negan stuff or anything. I noticed that Netflix now has It Follows and Alice Through the Looking Glass and some other movies. I'm not sure what they are, but they sound good. Hard Candy. I've never seen Hard Candy. Oh, Cheap Thrills. That's one I wanted to see, and now Netflix has it. That's pretty cool. I do want to see that one. So yeah, there's a lot going on Netflix now. They've got a lot of good stuff now all of a sudden, and it looks like they've got more good shows coming. I need to watch Supergirl. Yeah, I'm scrolling through it right now. Anyway, the other movie that I saw, Tales of Halloween. Okay, I want to talk about this movie. So Tales of Halloween is an anthology horror film, and it's from 2015. I don't know if this was just like a direct to video thing or what. Direct to rental, I don't know. I feel like I heard about it, but there are a couple on YouTube that have similar titles, and I'm just confused with how many there are out there now, because like one of my favorite Halloween movies is an anthology horror film called Trick or Treat, and it also came out a handful of years back, and I think it was shelved for a long time before it did come out, if I hear that correctly. But well, that's the one that stars Sam, the little character. I have a little action figure of him, that's why I went like this. But he's a little like goblin type character. He's like the Halloween mascot that they invented for that movie, and that's a really popular one, and I love that movie, and I highly recommend it. It's called Trick or Treat. Not the old 80s Trick or Treat, but this is like from the 2000s or something. I don't know, when did that come out? 2000? Yeah, it'd have to be in the 2000s, I think. It's older than I made it out to be, but it's in the 2000s. And this is like from part of this Tales of Halloween, which is like recent, is from a whole like wave of a bunch that I guess they're like, that Trick or Treat movie was pretty good, let's do something like that. And and most of these aren't that great, this new bunch that I've heard of. This one actually though isn't too bad. Like I said, I love anthology horror. There's a bunch from the 70s, 60s, 70s, even the early 80s a little bit, from a studio called Amicus, an English studio called Amicus. They did some awesome ones. I'm not sure if any of these were from Hammer also. I don't know. I think Hammer did some. I'm not sure if they did anthologies. They did a few anthologies, I think. But Amicus was the main like anthology one. But I don't remember exactly who did what. But Tales from the Crypt, long before it was a TV show, you know, there was a movie based on the comics, and it was a British movie. I believe it was one of the Amicus ones. And then there's like Vault of Horror, also based on an old comic, EC comic, and there were a bunch of others also, and those were really good, and they were hokey, but they were really creepy too, and they had great actors in it, great British actors. You had Peter Cushing, and it was good stuff. I love, those are some of my favorite horror movies. I love the Amicus anthologies. I love Hammer horror also. And then I love the old Universal monsters. I love monster stuff more than I do slasher stuff. I love werewolves and vampires and things like that, you know. But I'm up for any horror. But and some of that, the slasher stuff is really disturbing. Sometimes it's really, really realistic and really disturbing. But I love monsters, you know. Tales of Halloween. Tales of Halloween, a really interesting thing about this one is there's actually 10 stories. That's a lot of stories for an anthology horror film. Usually there's 4, you know, give or take one. But this one has 10 stories, and that, you know, they're kind of doing that more nowadays. More of these like short stories. People are, I guess it's more of this ADD stuff nowadays. People have like really bad ADD, and so now it's got like one movie has like 10 stories in it. That's how ADD people are now. But you know, some of them that have been like this are like that ABCs of Death, which I tried to watch, didn't get too much out of it. They have these VHS movies. I don't remember how many stories those have. Those might be a little more traditional. I don't think they have like 10 stories on them, but I kind of like those VHS ones, which are that's the title, VHS, which have been on Netflix, and they might still be on there. And I enjoy them. They'll have a you know, a story or two that I don't like, and then they'll have a story or two that I really like. This one has 10 stories. They're, you know, they vary in quality. I don't know of anything. Let me go over them one at a time. Sweet Tooth is the first story. I've got the list behind the camera here. And Sweet Tooth is about again, these are super short. The babysitter and her boyfriend are telling this kid who's back from trick-or-treating, he's gorging on candy, and they're just telling him, you know, you should save some candy for this, you know, this Sweet Tooth character who will come and get you if you don't save him some candy, because he was a kid who murdered his parents because they ate all his candy. It's not bad. It's the babysitter is cute, but it's yeah, it was, you know, a short. They're little short throwaway stories. If you're in the mood for something Halloweenish, you know, and something creepy, I mean, these aren't, you're not watching Exorcist with these, but they're entertaining. The second story is The Night Billy Raised Hell. That's pretty funny. It's got a pretty funny little twist on it. This little boy, decides he's gonna do some pranks. He's kind of goaded into it by his sister, I guess, and her boyfriend. They kind of tell him he needs to start doing some Halloween pranks. It's traditional and everything. And he goes to this one house they send him up to I forget what he's gonna do, some prank. And the guy who opens the door is like this creepy old man, and he grabs him, and then you see him go out, you know, pranking with the old man. But there's a funny twist to that story. I enjoyed that one. Trick. Trick is, I'm reading it right now. A group of friends are terrorized by vigilante trick-or-treaters. Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, these, as I am reminded of reading them, these are pretty good. That was an interesting one. I mean, they're you know, they're goofy little stories, but they're entertaining. I can't really explain that one. You see some, like, you know, late 20s people or 30 somethings, and they're just sitting around, like, getting high and, like, you know, talking and stuff, and trick-or-treaters come by, and they're like passing out candy, and they start getting attacked by a group of trick-or-treaters, and you know, you find out why at the end. The Weak and the Wicked, that is, yeah, it's about these three bullies, and they're picking on people. they're not kids. These bullies are like, I guess they're supposed to be teenagers, but they look like they're, I mean, they're obviously older than that. And they're led by this girl, this gorgeous girl, who, you know, they've got her made up to be like a tough girl, and she plays it excellently. But she's so gorgeous, and she does a great job as this character who's the leader of these bullies, and they're harassing this little boy, and they get interrupted by this other guy who they had harassed before when he was a kid. And you know, I can't say too much because there's not a lot to these stories, and if I say too much, I'm going to blow the story, the ending, the twist, or whatever. The next story is Grim Grinning Ghost. That one is not that great. It amounts to a girl walking home from or driving home, I don't remember. She's going home from a Halloween party, and she's, you know, something's following her, and it's the whole getting the keys in the door before somebody gets you, and then, you know, spoiler alert, she you know, goes in the house, and the thing's in there already. There wasn't anything to that. There wasn't much of a story to that. Ding Dong, that is a man, I'm trying to read it. A man learns that his wife is, okay. Ding Dong is pretty cool. It's funny, it's weird. This guy has this sort of abusive wife because she's actually some kind of monster. That's not really a twist. They let you know that very early on. He's got this wife that is like, she wants to have a child really badly, but she's also this like witch type creature that probably would, you know, eat a child if she had it. And so he's kind of like, every year Halloween comes by, and she's like, is all heartbroken because she wants to have a child and she can't seem to get pregnant, but the guy also is like trying to protect these trick-or-treaters from her. It's really interesting, and it's got some creepy visuals. That one's one of my favorites, I think, on this. What else? This Means War. Okay, this one is about neighbors battling it out with who's got the better Halloween display. One of them is like the old traditional guy who has like his like props out in the yard, and then the other one is like a hard rock metalhead type guy, and he's got a really noisy like display with like all this like really loud music, and you know, so they get into a battle, and it's not as, it's pretty brief. Friday the 31st. Oh, that's sort of a parody on Friday the 13th. There's a slasher killer, and he's out, you know, doing his thing where he murders people, and an alien comes trick-or-treating and comes across him, and it's about that big, and he just steps on it and crushes it, and so it possesses the body of the girl he just killed, and it starts chasing him. So it turns the tables on the Jason type psycho killer character, and it was pretty funny and interesting. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed all of these. I think pretty much they're creepy and they're interesting and they're funny, and you know, I don't expect much from them. I mean, you might say, like, how can you give a bad review to something like La La Land that everybody in the world likes, and then, you know, watch something that's kind of like crappy like this and like say it's, you know, worth watching? Because I know what I'm getting into when I watch this one. I don't expect much from this movie. You know, when you're dealing with horror movies, a lot of them aren't very good, and anthologies are usually way more fun and enjoyable because there's so many stories, especially like this one's got like 10 stories. Now that means there's not going to be as much meat to them, but you know, there's usually something to enjoy about them. But where was I? There's 2 more stories. The Ransom of Rusty Rex. That's a pretty cool one. It's got this actor. Let me see if I can find his name. No, I don't see it. But the guy who he was in the American version of I don't even remember what that show was called. It was about a vampire or a werewolf, and Being Human. Yeah, the American version of Being Human, which is a show I really enjoyed, and he played the vampire in that show, and he plays Dr. Jekyll on, no, he plays Mr. Hyde on Once Upon a Time, and he was the main character in the Star Wars Force Unleashed, is that what it's called? You know, the video game series. Really cool actor. Really like this guy, and he's in this one. And it's about these 2 guys who try to like steal some rich guy's kid so they can hold him for ransom. And they're just like a couple of bumbling like criminal guys, and they're just trying to make some money. They don't want to hurt anybody, but they just figure, I'm going to steal this like millionaire's kid, and we're going to get a lot of money, and we'll just give the kid back, right? And it turns out the kid is like this little goblin demon creature, and it's not really his kid. It's just this thing that plagues this rich guy. So they steal this, you know, this creature, and you know, the guy doesn't want it back. He's not going to pay ransom, and so they're stuck with it. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty funny, pretty entertaining. The last story on this movie is called Bad Seed. This one was kind of lame. It's about a guy carves a jack-o'-lantern and it starts attacking and killing people. I guess if you love Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or something, it's that kind of thing. This pumpkin running around eating people. That one I wasn't too impressed with. I mean, I like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but that movie's so bad it's funny. But actually, I like the sequel better. The first sequel. Is it the first sequel? Anyway, yeah, the last story I didn't love, but I pretty much enjoyed all the stories, especially the first 9. Yeah, my favorite is probably Ding Dong and you know, the Ransom of Rusty Rex is pretty cool. Ding Dong is the most rewatchable one. Oh, and Sweet Tooth is alright, you know, it's got that cute babysitter in it. I like The Night Billy Raised Hell. That was funny. Cheesy but funny. They're all cheesy. They're funny though. They're just cool, like little short scary things. I like to watch stuff like that. I'll put it on just as I do other stuff. Or, I mean, I've watched it more than once already, this movie. I'm not saying this is a great movie. It's just, if you want more bang for your buck as far as like more stories, if you like anthology stuff, and if it doesn't always have to be great stuff. I mean, this isn't like watching one of those where there's like 4 stories and they should be better because there's 4 of them, so they have, each one has more time. If you consider how short these stories are, they're pretty good. Okay, I got cut off there. I forgot my phone does that. Only get so much space on here for film. So continuing, yeah, if you're in the mood for something Halloweenish, this is a great one that's on Netflix right now. And it's got a lot of familiar faces. You've got Barry Bostwick, you've got Lynn Shay, who's in a lot of horror stuff right now. The guy I was trying to remember, his name is Samuel Witwer. And then you've got some really great cameos like Joe Dante. I didn't even catch him. John Landis is in it. Adrienne Barbeau is like the sort of narrator, like in the book end of it is like a radio announcer. Yeah, why did I do that? I don't know. But yeah, you've got a lot of other cameos too. Barbara Crampton was in it. I didn't catch that. I'm gonna have to watch it again. It's fun. It's a fun little anthology horror film. If you like anthology horror, I do recommend Tales of Halloween. If you don't mind something being cheesy and stuff, I think it's pretty cool. If you love Halloween, you know, you're gonna like it. Okay, so that's it for that stuff, guys. That's my Netflix talk. Like I say, I watch a lot of Netflix, watch a lot of Hulu, I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't have cable. Grew up with cable, just, you know, ever since I came to Austin, and my sister and I have been sharing this place. We rely on those things and my big DVD and Blu-ray collection, and that's pretty much it. So, so I'm going to talk about some things that I've managed to acquire since the last video I did. But before I do, let me bring this out. This I just brought back from my mom's house when I took her home. And this is my old Kenner Millennium Falcon. Now, I think there's an even bigger one, like, from, like, was it the 90s or the early 2000s, where they came out with, like, one that was even bigger. But this is, I'm not going to say this is the original. This probably came in a box that said Return of the Jedi. When I was a kid, like, I was born 2 years before the first Star Wars movie, so I didn't really, like, you know, I think most of the toys I had of it, I probably had some from Empire, but most of the toys I had probably were from the Jedi era, because I would have been, like, I wasn't even 10 years old when Jedi came out. So yeah, and this was my main toys to collect when I was a kid. These, like, the 3 3/4, I believe that's right, 3 3/4 Star Wars figures, which I collected all the way up until Black Series came out with the 6-inchers, and now I just get the 6-inchers mainly because the prices for the little small figures are just, like, ridiculous now. I'd rather, you know, get the 6-inch ones. But yeah, it's got the landing gear. They go up. It's in great shape, really. Some of the labels aren't, like, in the best of shape. Like, they're, you know, little stickers that you got to stick on yourself. And it needs a dusting. But other than that, I mean, I've got a few ships that have been, like, broken over the years and stuff. I've got one that has, it's like probably the last ship that I got from the classic Kenner stuff, and the landing gear got broken on it when I was, like, dusting my room. I think I accidentally stepped on it. It was tragic. It was an A-wing fighter. But yeah, this is my Falcon. Played with this a lot. It held up really well. I think there's a lot of action. I think I've been storing action figures in it, so I think the back here is full of action figures. Yeah, they're not even appropriate. They're like, there's like Padme, pregnant Padme. So yeah, I don't even know what's in here. I need to look through it. But and because I've got it stuffed with action figures, the landing gear is not going to go up right now. But yeah, you've got this little compartment here where Han and Chewie sit. There's a little control panel. And got your dish, which falls off so easily. That dish is not secure on there. That's just, they didn't make it, like, secure. Yeah, I think this did have sound effects, but it doesn't have batteries right now, I'm sure. I believe it had sound effects. One of these panels here. This one. Okay, there's the button. And it should work, but I don't know for sure. It doesn't seem like the spring is very... But yeah, I would need batteries. No lights on this one. This is old school. Not that we didn't have toys with lights, but I don't think this one had any lights. As you can see, the stickers on the back where you would probably have lights. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I love this. My old, probably my most precious Star Wars toy. And I think I'm gonna put that over in that corner over there. Anyway, I have like my Boba Fett helmet there. I'm probably gonna have to put that in the closet. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff that I picked up recently or received in the mail. Mostly stuff I've been getting on clearance. I've got my stuff from my new job in here, but I also have 3 Hallmark ornaments that I picked up on clearance. There's Arlo from The Good Dinosaur. This was 75% off, and it was like the last one they had. And I mean, we did a Disney tree this year, and I was trying to like cover like every Disney animated feature, and in the end, there were a couple that they didn't make any ornaments of or any merchandise at all, like Black Cauldron. There's like a little bit of merchandise out there, and then you have very little live action stuff. And then I found out I didn't have too many Pixar titles, so I decided to better pick this one up. I do have like a few Pixar ornaments, and I picked up a few this year. Let's see what else. Candyland. Last year I got Monopoly, so I definitely wanted to get Candyland this year. I think I've missed a few. They had, I think they had Operation. I need to try to get that one sometime. I'm not sure what else they've had. And I also, last year I got the cereal one, which was Toucan Sam. But this year it was Rice Krispies, and man, they didn't even have those after Christmas. They got cleared out, so gonna have to go online and get that, and Tony the Tiger, which was the first one I missed. Here is the new Batmobile. Now, I'm not a big like collector of car stuff, but I love movie cars. I'm not like a car person, but I do love movie cars and TV show cars. And I somehow have managed to have Christmas ornaments of all the Batmobiles, so I kind of had to get this one. 75% off, you know. So yeah, I just picked up those the other day, and there's still a few ornaments they have that I want, but they have so many that I'm hoping they'll go down to 90% off. So I've gotten some stuff at 90% off before, but if I panic and if I am able to afford it, I might get them anyway. Now this is some stuff I picked up, including another Hallmark ornament. I picked this stuff up on the drive home as I was taking my mom back home from the holidays, and on the way back from that drive. Another of those Pixar ornaments. I said I decided to get a few, 75% off. This is Joy and Sadness Hallmark ornament. What else we got? One more ornament. This is from the Disney store. I got 2 things at the Disney store outlet in San Marcos, Texas. And this was clearance for like, I think she was like, oh, $3.99. That's in general what the clearances are coming out to right now. $4 for ornaments. Not bad. And this is Vanessa from The Little Mermaid. And there you can see her reflection is Ursula, and it's a lenticular thing that fades out and then it fades into Ursula. I'm surprised they didn't make it like an actual mirror, but Now this is heavy and it's super breakable, and they had 3, and this was the only one that was like decent. Like one of them was broken and the other one had like some bad paint, but pretty cool. I mean, a character like Vanessa, you don't see much of her. And I'm a huge Little Mermaid fan. Little Mermaid was like my favorite Disney. My favorite Disney animated film was The Jungle Book until The Little Mermaid came out. And then they were kind of tied. And like now, I don't know, it's probably still a tie between those two. But there's some, you know, of course there are Disney animated features that surpass those two now, but I mean, those are my special ones, my 2 special ones. And I've said it before, I prefer Hallmark ornaments to Disney because Disney has such breakable and heavy ornaments, but they do things that Hallmark store would probably never do, like Vanessa. Now, here's the other thing I got at the Disney store. Also, for this one was half price. And this is Jyn Erso from the Elite series. And this is an action figure. And this is a die-cast action figure, which means that it's partially made of metal, partially or entirely, I don't know. But, and I never have bought these before. They're usually pretty pricey. Again, they're like half price when I went there the other day. It was just like a couple days ago or whatever when I was driving back from the valley. And what I like about them is they have pretty good likenesses. And the reason I had to get this one, I have her in the 6-inch black series, and it's not much of a likeness. It's almost like cartoonish to where it's like, I mean, it's not really cartoonish, but it's just kind of not a great, it doesn't look like anybody. It's just kind of generic looking, sort of like the old Star Wars toys, the Kenner ones, where the characters, they would just look like, oh, this is a man, this is a woman, you know. It didn't look like a specific actor. And this one has a pretty good likeness to Felicity Jones, who is like my biggest like celebrity crush at the moment, I think. Or one of them. One of the high up ones right now that I'm really into. I'm really into Jyn Erso right now, if you didn't know. There isn't a lot of merchandise of Dove Cameron, so except for stuff for girls. So I'm really into Jyn Erso right now. Yeah, so I don't know too much about this. I've never gotten one of these before. I've never opened one up. So I don't know if I'm gonna open this. I probably will. I open all my toys, but and I kind of want to like line up all my Jyn Erso stuff, but I probably won't have anywhere to display them. I also have my little Jyn Erso pop figure, but yeah, it's very cool. I really like it, and it was half price, so I couldn't resist. I don't think I'm gonna keep getting like these Elite series. The prices are like crazy high. I mean, it's hard enough for me to like get Black Series. I'm like, I only have like, I don't even know if I have half the Black Series action figures yet, but these are like way more than expensive than those. So I might just get Jyn Erso. We'll see when Natalie Portman comes out. But it was a great likeness. I don't know. And one other item from my road trip. Isn't so much a fun item as a health item. Lye soap, Grandma's Pure Soap. I got this at, it's Grandma's Pure and Natural Pure Soap, Lye soap. A lot of redundancy there, but I got this at Cracker Barrel. If you don't know what Cracker Barrel is, it's this restaurant that's like got a old-time country theme, like what's that movie? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Kind of a thing. And it's a restaurant, and it's got a little country store as part of the restaurant where they sell stuff like this and like old-fashioned candy and, you know, country store type stuff. And it's a neat, if you've never been there, it's a nice little place to go. It's my mom's favorite restaurant. That's why I usually go there when I'm driving her home. They play a lot of country music when you're sitting there trying to eat, which I'm not a fan of, but the food, if you order the right thing, is pretty good. I mean, like the chicken, fried chicken is pretty good, and on Sunday they have a special home style chicken that's really good. But I'm never there on Sunday. Whenever I drive her home, it's usually Saturday or. So hopefully I'll be able to make it there on a Sunday next time driving back up. But yeah, they got a lot of little old-fashioned country type things you can buy, and I got this lye soap because it's supposed to be really good on psoriasis, which I got hit with psoriasis like when I was like, I don't know, mid-30s or something. So yeah, I've got it really bad on my elbows and on my face. Now some people get it in other places, you know, I've got like a couple other places where I sometimes get it. Hopefully get in shape this year and might go away from that, but mostly it's supposed to be like stress related, but you know, it also can be because, you know, you gain weight or whatever. So, but this is supposed to be really good on it. To, you know, I've tried a million things that people have recommended, but yeah, I'm gonna try this too. There's actually lyesoap.com is a website that I think sells it like maybe half the price of this place. Well, maybe almost, because I think this was like $5.99. I think you can go to lyesoap.com. I think it's like $3 something, but I'm not sure. But you can check that out. And I just, you know, I saw it there and I want to try it. And if it works, well then I'll probably go to that website and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so almost done here, and I better wind this up because last time I tried to make a video more than an hour long. Yeah, YouTube wasn't having that. So it used to let me like make really long videos, and now it's like limiting me. I got this today at Barnes & Noble. It was half off, which is what this red dot is. And it's an anime figurine of a beautiful girl. I don't know much about this character or anything at all. It's, I think, from an anime show called The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. And there you see these 3 figures that exist. And this is the one that I got, because it's the only one they had. They also had one from something else. I think it was from Idolmaster the movie, and it was a different character. But you know, I couldn't afford 2, and this one had, you know, she was a little bit cuter, her outfit and everything. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but I just love anime girls. I think they're super cute. It's like, yeah, I'm a Disney guy more than anything. I have very little anime knowledge. I'm a big Sailor Moon fan, and I love Studio Ghibli, but other anime I want to explore more, but I haven't had time. Like I said, it'd be nice if I could date somebody who was into anime and could show me, you know, what's cool right now. But also somebody who's a bigger Disney fan, because that's the main thing. But yeah, I'm excited to open this. I just love these cute anime girl figures. I have a few older ones. Some of them are bigger and stuff. I have like a couple of I have my Gunbuster one. I have a couple of Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion. But yeah, I'm excited to open this. These are some cute girls. I actually wouldn't mind getting the whole set. And maybe I'll check out the anime sometime, since I have the figures now. One more item. I got this today. And I haven't even opened the box, so here's hoping it's in good shape. This is from Disney Movie Rewards. So this was free with my points. So I selected this. It was 1,000 points. Looks like I got a pretty good one. More Jyn Erso. This is called a Wobblers. It's I think it's from Funko. Is it from Funko? Maybe not. Yeah, it's Funko. Funko Wobblers. Yeah, it says it right there, real big. And let me put this box down. So like I said, I love Jyn Erso. And I actually think this is way cuter than the pop figures are cute, but I like these kind of eyes better than the dots, especially for a girl character. But there you go. There's these two, and then I've got that die-cast metal one, and I've got my 6-inch black series. So all I need, I mean, there's a few other kinds of things out there. There's a statue, there's a doll, like a fashion doll type doll at the Disney store. It's not super impressive, but there's always Hot Toys. So if I was gonna get anything else, it would be a Hot Toys Jyn Erso, which I don't know when I'd ever have the money for that. But the other thing is like that 20-inch maybe Jyn Erso, which I think has a decent likeness for one of those. Actually, you know, I know those are on clearance right now. I might try to find one of those. I actually am tempted by those. I guess this is a bauble, you can see from under there, just like the other one. But yeah, I like the head, and it's bigger, adding to my Jyn Erso collection. I try not to do that now, where I get like a bunch of things of one particular character, because I have limited space and everything. But I just really like Jyn Erso. So yeah, and it was free, you know. I think these are like 10 bucks if you go buy them, sort of like a pop figure. Might depend on where you get them. They might be like $14.99 at some places. That pop figures are at some places. But yeah, she's really cute. I like her. I'm gonna crack her open in a little while. Okay, guys, that's it for now. And I'm gonna come on with a video of my little review of my experience at the Draft House, seeing Singing in the Rain. It'll probably be a short video, because I mean, when you love a movie, it's just a great movie. You're just gonna say it's great. You're gonna gush, and but I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. Okay, that's it for now. I don't know when I'm coming back. There is actually, I did want to review something else. I was gonna start reviewing some of my DVD sets, like TV shows, as I go through them. I just watched Tales from the Crypt season 1, and I'll probably do a review of that on here soon. So watch for that, and watch for my Singing in the Rain thing, which I'll probably post tonight after I shoot it, which I will do after I post this. Okay, catch you guys later. Hey guys, real quick follow-up to that previous stuff. I did open a couple of these things. I opened my Jyn Erso. She looks awesome. Here she is next to the Pop. There they are, right next to each other, so you can see the size difference. As you can see, I like these eyes a lot better, but you know, they are what they are. Pop figure is different, but yeah, very cool. And I also opened this awesome anime figure that I got, which is right here. Yeah, I'm really happy I bought this one. I was worried when I went to Barnes & Noble. I was worried she was going to be gone, because I noticed her there like quite a while ago. I figured somebody would have bought her by now, but she was still there, and she is gorgeous. I love these. Look at those legs, man. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out this anime a little bit, because I'll probably end up having to get all 3 of these girls. I've never even seen this show, but yeah, I'm very happy with that one. And actually, I wanted to mention, because this dude that sold me this at the Disney store, my my Jyn Erso die-cast figure, was so cool. We were talking about how gorgeous Felicity Jones is and all that stuff, and he went and like, he was trying to dig up for me a free pin, because I guess they had some free Rogue One pins. He couldn't find any, but he gave me like some stickers. Really nice guy. Thanks a lot for the sticker. This is a BB-8 one. There it is. Yeah, it's like 3 like Star Wars stickers, but yeah, I wish he had found that pin, but apparently they ran out. But yeah, that was really nice. And so yeah, that was in the San Marcos Disney store. Pretty cool guy there. It was interesting road trip, because I kept running into people and talking about Star Wars. I kept wanting to talk about it. So, but anyway, that's it for now, guys.